Woo! Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sam B right here with the Tune Up Show. Yes, sir. This is what I do. I am back with another video. So, for anyone that tuned in, that's been tuning in to this whole Alec Baldwin thing, I would say about a month and some change ago, well, probably about 2 months ago, he, in his words, he accidentally shot and killed a cinematographer on the set of his movie in production, Rust. All right. And a lot of people all over the internet, a lot of people on YouTube have been going into great detail on the use of guns, the proper handling of weapons on set. Just a lot of different people, regular people. I know people like Colin Noir, gun enthusiasts like him. Even even my self-defense insurance company, USCCA, even they've weighed in on it, on how this Alec Baldwin could very well be lying about the happenings of how he is with a gun. And, and for the record, I believe he's lying as well. For someone that has been handling weapons in the short period of time that I've been handling weapons, even at the gun range and teaching my son and teaching others, he deliberately and intentionally, and it's not anything about negligibly, because negligence is just another form of ignorance. Okay. Alec Baldwin, he's been on set long enough, on many Hollywood sets long enough to where if you're handed any kind of gun, you're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to, and that's just gun safety for everything. Okay. I've been on set. I've been in plays where I used to act when I was younger, my late teens, early 20s. And like I said before, I handled a blank gun. And even with that, I still checked the weapon. Okay. Because you never know who touched it. I'm not saying that the gun was always lying around. The gun was always kept in its gun case with a lock on it until it was ready for it to come out. Now, either the director, myself, or the trained person, all right, because there was somebody on set with us at all times that was handling that gun, that was loading that gun. They were present with that gun. Okay. They watched me load it. They watched me checked it. After I watched them checked it, these are all rules that everyone is supposed to follow. Okay. No one is above gun safety. And I think this is the biggest problem with the NRA and the Democratic Party, because it seems like every time the Democratic Party comes into play, the first thing they try to do is take your weapons. And they try to say, oh, guns aren't safe. Okay, guns are safe. We get it. But guess what? They're really not safe in the wrong hand, in the hands of the person, in the hands of a person that has intent on doing wrong with it. That's when a gun becomes not safe. A gun by itself. I did a whole show where I had the camera on me, and I'm talking about gun violence, anti-gun or anti-violence, and I had a gun right in front of me. It didn't move. It didn't fire. It didn't load itself. It didn't do anything. Okay? So guns by itself are very safe until they end up in the wrong hands. So with all that being said, I was going on YouTube and I came across John Schneider. Now, for those who aren't familiar with this actor, he is one of the seemingly lowly, seemingly humble, one of the most humbled actors I've ever seen. I don't know this man personally, but he seems to be pretty down to earth. He's known. He's more popular. Most people might know him for he's known professionally to be on the Smallville show, for anyone who was watching that, with Tom Welling as Clark Kent. And he played the father, Jonathan Kent. He played Clark Kent's earthly father, Jonathan Kent. So he did that show for about, I think, about 7, 8 years, until he was, I think he was killed off. Then I think he did a few recurring roles on the CW and other shows and series. He had a pretty good humble career as an actor. But I came across this video where apparently he's calling Alec Baldwin out for his lies. So this is just, so I want to share this because I don't want people to think that this is just some truther community or this is a Republic thing. No, I believe no one, absolutely no one, agrees with Alec Baldwin. Okay, I think that Alec Baldwin is they're going to convict him. Probably criminal negligence, which is probably the lowest you could probably get. All right, they'll probably get it for criminal negligence. All right, because it is a crime to not properly handle a weapon, and plus it resulted in the death of somebody. So he's lucky if that's all he get is criminal negligence. Because me personally, just if it happens to come out that he accidentally shot her, because he's already been disingenuous. He's already lied enough on camera. Okay, now he's saying that the damn thing he didn't load it, and that the bullet grew legs and loaded this up. But we'll see what John Schneider's talking about. Let's see what he's talking about.
Button. Hit the red button. Make sure we see red. We're live. We're live. Okay. So this is this a Colt or is this a Dakota? This is a Colt. Okay. And I've just been handed this weapon, so I'm now going to click it back so that I can check it. Now here's what I'm doing. I'm checking in here to make sure there's nothing in it. Okay. Nothing in this weapon. Now this is someone else's Colt. I'm not going to dry fire it. Okay. You can also look here and see, here, come right there. You can see right there that there's nothing, there's no lead in there. Now, if I were to be really
that is a real nice weapon. Like that's
about this,
that's a nice gun.
Which you would be on a set. You would come in here, you take that out. You would take this out, check it, and then there's going to make some people.
And for most people that's probably watching this and wondering, wow, he's pretty handy with that gun, but he's an actor. Well, most actors, especially if they are always on a movie set or TV set and are always, using weapons, they tend to get better at using weapons. Even if they're not a gun enthusiast at heart, they tend to get better with weapons. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about your mindset. It's all about who you are as a person. If you're handling anything in life, whether it's driving a car, whether it's your job, your position on your job, whatever you're doing in life, if you're not taking it seriously, then that means you don't really care about it. And that means you will make mistakes and things will happen. Death will ensue because you're not taking out the proper time to assess and, become part of your situation that you're in. Okay, and it has a lot to do with being a man as well. Okay, there's a lot of man children running around out here, and they don't know how to become part of their situation and assess it from the inside out. And that's really what weapons handling is all about. Is becoming the gun. You have to become the gun. Hey, if I'm a gun, how do I make myself not safe? Well, I put myself in the hands of a person that's not a safe person. Or, and like, okay, if I'm a gun, how do I make myself safe? Well, maybe this is what I do. I unload myself. I take the bullets out. I put the bullets away from wherever the gun is. Okay. These are all questions. It has a lot to do with your mentality, but let them continue.
People squeamish, you would look down the barrel and see I'm showing myself my finger. Now here's why. Look down the barrel. You see right down the barrel?
Yes.
And I'm making sure that there's nothing inside there. Right? You see my finger back there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you do that. And then you would now I understand that this is a pain in the butt, but this is what, this gun's never been apart like that. This is what, come on you, just a minute.
Come on, John. Come on, man. Get it together, man. Get it together.
Back. There. This is what firearm safety.
You a Superman's dad, man. Come on, get it together.
Is all about. Now, this is a single action weapon, which means pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, nothing happens, right? In order for this to fire, you've got to pull it all the way back. I'm not going to dry fire it because this is someone else's weapon and they probably wouldn't like that. But and
there's a reason why that most people are very finicky about other people dry firing their weapon. If they're a gun enthusiast, if they regularly go to the range to shoot, a lot of gun enthusiasts, a lot of people that use guns, they don't like people dry firing their weapon. They don't even dry fire their weapon because it eventually wears out the trigger. So that's another thing you want to look out for. You should dry fire, especially if you're a beginner. That's why you should have at least maybe 3 to 4 guns. Have your range gun, have your gun that you carry on you, have your home defense gun, and have your backup carry gun. I mean, that's 3 to 4 guns. At least that's what I was told. I'm no gun expert, but that's what I was told by another. That's what I've been told that by cops. I've been told that by a lot of people, because in some states, if you happen to find yourself in a situation where you did have to use your weapon and it did result in someone getting shot or may even killed, 9 times out of 10 in some states you don't get that weapon back. Okay, so that's why a lot of times you just need to have another gun on you. Or sometimes it takes up to a year to get your gun back. Who knows? And sometimes you may not get it back because they've already destroyed it. That's just the slick nature of this judicial society, where they'll take something that is afforded, that's a right afforded to you, and you may have been innocent. You may have been proven innocent in a court of law, that it was a just shooting. They'll still take your gun and destroy it, and they'll just mark it down as a mistake, and they'll give you like a $200 gift certificate, but the gun they destroyed was like $800. You know what I mean? That's just the system. That's the system here. That's why justice is portrayed as a female. All right, with a blindfold, all right, They see nothing. They don't know anything. All they know is about what's on that scale. It's all about that scale. All right. Do you have what it takes to get this gun back? Do you have the money to get this gun back immediately? No. Well, you don't get it back. So that's I went a little further with that, but yeah, let's continue.
As far as you know, is there any way that if this gun had a bullet in it right now that it could go off without someone doing that?
No.
No. Okay. So these guns have a safety built. There's kind of a safety right there. The first click is a safety. Okay. So nothing is going to happen with this weapon. There's no way for this weapon to go off. I could drop it, which I will not do. Don't fret, Randy. But you've got to pull it back, pull the trigger. Okay. Now there is some thought to that Alec was fanning it. If I fan this, it's going to stick there unless I have my finger on the trigger. Okay. So fanning it will make it stop here or here or here. This is very tough. Well, there, it's a very tough spring. Okay, it's a tough spring because it does take quite a bit of pressure and impact and inertia for that to discharge anything. So that's how a single action weapon works. You can't accidentally pull the trigger. Now, if you have your finger on the trigger and you fan it, it will go. Okay, see? Because it's the trigger that releases that catch right there. I don't want to dry fire it, but...
It'll be okay.
Okay, so it's the trigger that releases that catch. All right. So the notion that this weapon could go off without somebody pulling the trigger is really hard to believe. Okay? And while we're at
it, and you notice how he, you notice how he looked into the camera. I was like, yeah, that's very hard to believe that this weapon, because this is supposedly the same kind of weapon that killed Helena Hutchins. All right, and somehow Alec Baldwin is trying to weasel his way out. That's why you have all these cases coming out now. You got they done revived the Jussie Smollett case. They did the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Now they got the black guy from Waukesha, Wisconsin. They're bringing out all these cases because they're trying really, really hard to cover up this thing that Alec Baldwin did. Now, I could speculate all day, every day why I think he really killed that girl. I believe personally, I mean, for the record, yes, I believe Alec Baldwin killed that woman. For reasons why, I don't know. I can always speculate, but we got to go with the facts. And the fact is that the stuff he was saying, the stuff Alec Baldwin was saying about how that gun went off is just, it's just unrealistic. I mean, what are we in? What are we in? Looney Tunes? Come on, man.
In order to load this weapon, this is an intentional action as well. You've got to line this up. You can't load it if it's like that. You have to line this up, put a bullet in it, turn it, put another one in it, turn it, put another one in it, right, up to 6. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people will keep an empty chamber on one. They'll keep one empty chamber in there so that in case somebody hits that, I guess there's some notion way back when with cheap replicas that something could happen there. Mm-hmm. But in order for that to happen, I'd have to drop it, or somebody would have to hit it with a hammer. Mm-hmm. But if I dropped it, it would fire up, right? So there's a lot of things we're told to believe that don't make a lot of sense. Now, I have checked this, and I have not put it down since I checked it multiple times. So my understanding is, and I'll take my finger off the trigger for this, that the gun was fired, it was cross-drawn and then fired down like this. And part of the interview, Alec is saying that she was telling him where to point, and that makes perfect sense. It makes absolute sense, telling him where to point the gun, okay? So in that world, if she were holding the camera, and I'm going to point this at your left hand, it is, I'm going to show you once again that it is, sorry, it is in fact empty, right? So squat down just a little bit. So if he was cross drawing and then aiming it like this, she was telling him where to aim. Could be she said lower, 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 which kind of makes sense there now. And then the director might be behind her. You know, so she's here, the director's behind her. Now, this is total speculation, but she was shot clean through and it hit the director as well. In the shoulder, I think, in the collarbone. So there had to be, it had to be like this, okay? And so this is not a gun that fell on the ground. This is not a gun, even if I fanned it, remember, if I fan it in my...
Yeah, this is so much into this. All right. I mean, it's a lot. You know, I'm gonna let him finish it out. This
finger is not on the trigger. Nothing's going to happen. The only way that goes down is if I pull the trigger. So it's not adding up for me, and I hope it's not adding up for you either. Okay, this is a beautiful gun. Thank you, sir. Yep. Red button. Hit the red button. Make sure we see red.
We're live.
Is that yeah?
This is a beautiful gun. Thank you, sir. Yep.
And as you see right there, this is USCCA. They have another video, but I'll do that next time. I'll do that next time, another time. But yeah, he said it right, John Schneider, and then, he's a supposed Christian too. Like I said, I don't know how being a Christian in that world, in that Hollywood world works. But hey, if he's making it work, hey, God bless him. But yeah, so he I mean, that was just the most biggest demonstration. I just want to put that out there to people who, you know, think that this is just a truther community and people who are just, oh well, you just don't like him. You're throwing shade, and how can you not believe him? Accidents happen. Well, no, because it's what I say before. There are no victims in accidents. Okay, if it's an accident, then it's just an accident. All right, that's why you call involuntary manslaughter. All right, two people are fighting. They both go tumbling down the steps. One guy breaks his neck. He didn't intend on killing him. They were just fighting. So that's an accident, right? Accidental death. That's what it would be called. He wouldn't call you. You don't call. There are no victims in accidents. All right, an accident is just what it is. It's an accident. All right. There are only victims in crimes. There are only victims in homicides, murders. All right. That's just a play on words that a lot of Hollywood love to do, because see, they know that the average person is not going to look into this. The average person is not going to read up on anything. The average person doesn't even read. You know, most the average person, they'll read a headline and maybe the first paragraph of an article, and then that's it. That's why an article that's like 2 pages long, they know no one's going to read it. But I will. I'll read it. I'm going to read it. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of things people say. That's why I would say, like, when it comes to Alex Jones, that's why a lot of people, I understand why people say that he sounds like he's crazy, like he sounds like he's out of his mind. He sounds like he's out, you know what I mean? Because he does. He sounds like he's batshit crazy, you know. But that's just because he goes the extra length, he goes the extra step to try to figure something out, to try to get to the bottom of something. Alec Baldwin, just like this current administration, They are betting on the ignorance of the people. All right. So as the people, like John Schneider said, it doesn't add up for me. And I hope it doesn't add up for you either. Because it's something is very off. And you can saw in his whole thing, his whole spiel, where he's even trying to, he's trying to act out what Alec Baldwin said he did. He's trying to act it out. And even his motor skill function is betraying the narrative that he's trying to put forth. And see, that's how you know when someone's lying. Because see, even your brain, your conscious, your motor skill function will betray you. Okay? They're called tells. Okay? If you ever play poker or any kind of card game with somebody, and these things are called a tell. That's why when you hear me say a lot, oh, that's a tell, that's telling, that's this. Well, that's what it is. That's a tell. That's your motor function. That's your that's your mental psyche betraying what you're trying to put forth. That's how people know you're lying. Okay? But see, Hollywood, they lie so damn much. I doubt if they know the difference. I doubt if Alec Baldwin knows the difference between lying or not. He lies. I mean, the guys are freaking these are, let me tell you something, guys. These people are actors. Okay? They are actors. All right? Like, actors come from the word hypocrisy. Hypocrisy was hypocrites, liars, hypocrites. Okay? They're liars. All you women out there that say, oh, I hate a liar. Yeah, you hate a liar, but you love Brad Pitt, though. You love Denzel. Let me tell you something, ladies. They liars, too. They're liars, too. You like Tom Hanks, Matt Damon, they're all liars. They're all liars by default. All right, that's why they can get on stage and act like they're somebody else very convincingly. Because they're all liars. All the females, they're all liars. They're all very well paid liars. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some monk. I enjoy a movie here and there, but I also know that this is just entertainment. I also understand that these people are here to entertain me. And the moment Hollywood lost my vote was when they decided to step out of the entertainment ring and try to tell me what to do, try to tell me how to live my life, try to tell me who to vote for. Alec Baldwin was one of those people. Okay? He spent 5 years playing this dumbed down version of Donald Trump. Okay? And that's just what it is. These people are all liars by omission. All right? But that's the show today, guys. That's what I wanted to bring forth. I'll be back real soon. I'm going to bring some more video. I'm going to check out some more things. And, I'm going to keep my eye on this Alec Baldwin thing. I think that they did the second part of his interview, unscripted part 2 or something. I'm going to look into that. If they did, I will drop another video tonight. So that's what it is, guys. This is the Tune Up Show. I'm out. Peace.